If you're dreading a difficult conversation, then this video is for you. Because there are so many things that you must get right before you even open your mouth. Like your tone, your mindset, and your approach. Get them wrong, and the whole conversation could go sideways. Get them right, and things could change. Let's get into it. In this series, how to have a very difficult conversation with someone you love is going to be 3 parts, right? So in part 1, we're going to talk about before the conversation. How do you prepare to have this conversation? Part 2, we're talking about during the conversation, some of the things you should say, you shouldn't say, some of the other things you should look out for to ensure a smooth conversation. And in part 3, we're going to talk about after the conversation. What should you look for then? How do you deal with some of the stuff that may come up to ensure that the next conversation goes smooth as well, right? So enjoy. 3 things we're going to go through today. The preamble, managing yourself, and having a little cheat sheet. All right, so let's talk about the preamble first. The preamble is you preparing the person for what you are going to say. So you haven't started the conversation yet, but remember, in this video, we are talking about preparing for the conversation. So this is you preparing your preamble. You literally say to the person what you expect from them, what the conversation may be about, and maybe what you expect them to do. So it may sound something like, I want to talk to you about so. You don't have to say anything. That could be a parameter you give to the person. You let them off the hook, letting them know they don't have to respond to anything that you are saying right now. You just want them to listen. And that's completely fine, because what you really need from the person is to be able to hear what you are saying. And you letting them off the hook, letting them know, I just need you to listen. And for women, it may mean, if a man is doing the difficult conversation to a woman, it would mean that she now has to restrain all the comments that she wants to say and all the parts that she wants to interject into the conversation. And if it is a woman having the conversation with a man, it means he has to hold himself back from trying to fix everything, right? Give you all the suggestions and all the things that you need to do to solve this particular problem or whatnot, right? So your preamble is you literally letting the person know, we want to have this talk, and this is what I want from you, this is what I expect from you. Now on your side, when you have given them those parameters, you cannot get upset or irritated if they don't say anything about all that you just said, because the preamble, you're letting them know, this is what I want to say, and this is what I want to talk about, right? So you give them that sentence up front. Another part of the preamble is you actually getting permission to have this talk. Many times, people can be so overwhelmed about this thing that they want to say, or this particular issue that they want to handle right now, and we must handle it right now. But the person you're talking to may not be ready to listen to you, because they are tired, because they are watching a sport game, because they are busy cleaning, because they are busy thinking of something else or doing something else, so they just don't want to talk right now. That's completely fine. So part of your preamble is also asking the person, letting the person know that you want to talk, and asking the person for permission. We could talk now. You might say, I want to talk to you. You have some time? They might go ahead and say, all right, sure, no problem. Or they might say, yeah. They might say, give me half an hour. They might say, about what? Maybe later. You have to honor that. You should honor that, because that is part of helping you to strengthen your bond, to respect your partner, to respect your spouse, to respect the person you have decided to live this life with. And it helps them to be ready for the conversation. You also must consider the person you're talking to. You must know them by now, or know a good bit of their personality and how they react. People respond differently. People do not respond as quickly as you might respond. People do not think and perceive and have a prepared response as quickly as you might need it. And so in your preparation, in your preamble and all of this, you are taking into consideration who you are talking to, right? In the Bible, in Philippians 2, I think it's about 3-4, it says to esteem others higher than ourselves, right? And so that really speaks to putting the person who you are talking to and who you are dealing with more important than yourself, meaning you are considering how they are actually going to receive what you are saying above the fact that you want to say it. Right? So let me say that again. You are putting the person who is receiving your message. You are putting their interest and how they are able to receive it and how they would feel hearing these things and all that kind of stuff. You're putting that above the fact that you want to say it. And I'm saying that simply because when we are emotional and we want to talk about something that's important, we feel that we have all rights and we have the license to say what we want and say it exactly how we want, and we don't care how it is received. We don't care how the person feels. We just need to say it. Yes, you can say how you feel and express yourself and let people know. But if you want some change in your relationship and you're bringing up a conversation because you're trying to get to a different point, it means that you need the person who you're speaking to receive what you're saying and respond. Remember, as you're doing your preamble, you are preparing your talk, your difficult conversation for somebody that you care about and you want them to receive what you're saying. And so that person may have different strengths. We all have strengths. We all have different parts of our personality that they're part of our character, right? So things like bravery, creativity, appreciation for beauty, love, kindness, forgiveness, teamwork, perspective. And perspective is a person's ability to see different sides of a topic, right? Different sides of a conversation, see it from different sides. That's very powerful. Prudence, wisdom, humor, all these are strengths. I didn't make these up. These are from the VIA organization. They have multiple strengths. They have like 24 strengths that they looked at around the world, many different cultures, and they found these 24 as being universal, right? So your person, let's say for example, your person is patient and perspective. Like these are the three highest: patience, perspective, and prudence, right? And you're having this serious conversation with them. If you're really bubbly, excited type of personality, it's easy for you to see this person's response when you're talking to them as indifferent and they don't care. And after all that I said, you have absolutely nothing to say. But that person has a different personality. They have different character strengths, right? And these strengths may not mean that they are not listening to what you're saying. They just present differently with how they react. The second part of preparing yourself for this conversation is managing yourself during the conversation. Managing your emotions, managing your words, what you say, and all that type of stuff. So number one, your emotions should not explode. If you want to have this conversation because this particular thing happened recently and you want to talk about it right now, as we feel many times, when you think about the conversation, when you think about the topic, when you think about the thing that happened, when you think about the situation, if you get riled up and worked up, it's probably not the best time to have that conversation. If you get so angry and all you can think of is angry words and calling names and all that type of stuff, now is probably not the best time to have the conversation, as urgent as it may be. So you may need to take a day or two to calm down about the topic, and you must manage your emotions for this conversation to go well. Do you know it's okay to practice your conversation before you have the conversation? Practice some of what you want to say. Yeah, it's really helpful because we are not always well versed in having a conversation without pouring in all of the emotion. I'm not saying have a conversation devoid of emotion. I'm saying when you're trying to talk to somebody and you want to get them to hear you, it's important for you to be able to bring the facts up. So you want to talk about something, try to bring your facts up early on in the conversation. So, hey, we want to have this talk. All right, let's talk about it now. Come forward with your facts. On so day, or maybe if it was a situation that happened that you didn't like or didn't appreciate, right? On so day, at so time, or remember when we went to X situation, and then whatever came up, and then you said this, and then this happened. This is how I felt. Try to come up with the facts as opposed to all the feelings and bombard the person you're talking to with how bad you're feeling and how upset you are and how embarrassed or how frustrated or whatnot. Because yes, they're hearing all those feelings, but especially if you're a woman talking to a man, he needs to hear some of the facts to put it in context. That's just the way the man's mind is set up. And so you need to lay the facts as a kind of framework for what we're talking about. This is a particular situation that happened and this is how I felt. You can give some more information. This is how I felt because these things make me feel rejected, this make me feel embarrassed, this what. There was a time when I was younger when so happened, and da. Right? If your difficult situation is about some decision that needs to be made, you can lay out the facts in the same way. So this is the situation, and these are the options that we talked about before, or these are the options that I'm thinking about, and I like this option because this is what is going to happen. I also see this option, and this is what can happen. But I remember you were saying that you want this option because da. And you go on and you lay your points out. So this is why preparing for your conversation is so important, and not just blurting everything out in a kind of emotional vomit, so to say. But not just blurting everything out and having all the emotions mixed in there with so many facts and leaving the onus on your listener to pull out all of your points. Actually take some time, because this is an important conversation, you said, right? Take some time and put your conversation together. Now, there is no guarantee that exactly what you want to happen is going to happen. Nobody can say that for sure. And in a relationship, it may never be everything that you always want is going to happen. But it helps you to secure your bond. Should I say secure? It helps you to protect your bond, right? The closeness and intimacy and good relationship or building relationship that you are currently working on with this person. It can only get better when you are able to have tough conversations, difficult conversations, and come out of it still good. While you're talking to the person, manage your tone of voice. Our tone of voice is very important. You want your tone of voice to be warm, to be easy to listen to, as opposed to attacking, antagonistic, threatening. Right? Those things are not so easy to listen to, and you run the risk of the person kind of tuning you out. They're still there physically, but they zone in and zone out, while you are carrying on and ranting and raving to show that you're really serious. Right? You can think about and make sure that you control your tone of voice, make sure it's warm, make sure it's respectful, make sure you say what you have to say. And that's why going in with the facts sometimes is also very helpful, so you don't dip into the emotion too soon, but you state the situation and state how you feel, and maybe state what you would like to see happen, or how you would prefer to feel, or maybe what you would have preferred for that person to do or something. So that can be really, really, really helpful. The next thing is your eye contact. Right? It is really very helpful. Like, you can feel the difference when I am not looking at you right now, as opposed to when I'm looking straight at you and talking. Right? So eye contact gives openness and sincerity. And of course, we know our emotions flicker through our eyes as well. So when you're sad about something, upset about something, disappointed by something, or really excited about something, it is going to show in your eyes. And, so making that eye contact is really going to be very helpful to you as you convey your message and have this, really honest and difficult conversation with the person you love. And the last part of before the conversation prep is doing a cheat sheet, right? A cheat sheet, which is you simply take a piece of paper and you jot down 1, 2, 3, 4 points or whatever things that you want to say in this conversation. Why a cheat sheet is helpful? Because you don't want to forget somebody's stuff you want to say. Sometimes you come up, I wanted to say that. I wanted to bring up this topic, right? I wanted to bring up this example or whatnot. You have a cheat sheet and it's completely fair game, because you are planning and preparing this conversation. You pull out your paper and you talk about what you want to talk about. Now, you do not have to talk about everything in one conversation, right? The cheat sheet is merely to help you write down what you want to talk about for this particular conversation, for this particular topic. You may have some points as to why your idea is a good idea, or why, or maybe have different examples when you experience this particular situation and you want to let the person know, well, I'm bringing this conversation up because remember this time this happened, that time this happened, that I didn't say anything before. Maybe that's my fault, but I really want to let you know, I see it as a pattern and it's not something I really appreciate. It makes me feel this way and that way, and I prefer maybe if you do something like this or that. right? And so the cheat sheet is a really very good helper. And it helps to prevent you from feeling overwhelmed, which throws you into emotion. When we keep in all these things in mind that we want to say, we could tend to get emotional because you want to say this and then this next thing pop up into your head. But when you have it on paper, you don't have to hold everything in mind, right? You can just talk at length about what you want to say for this topic, really relaxed, and then you look down at your paper and you say the next point, right? Your partner will also appreciate this. It may be something new, like you have a whole paper of things you want to say, and you just simply say, well, yeah, I kind of prepared what I want to say. I kind of prepared the things I want to go over, or the points I want to bring up. I just prepared so that we can have this conversation. And you doing these things and employing these things and learning to speak in a different way and think a different way about your conversations, it is going to help to turn the tide in your relationship. Every difficult conversation does not have to mean that you all are angry at the end of it. And that's only going to work better for your relationship, because your partner, your husband, your wife, your fiance, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, that person is going to begin to realize, oh, we can talk about anything, and we may not come out on the same results at the end, but we had a good conversation. And your aim at the end of that conversation really should be, to have some points laid out. Even if you lay out these points more than one time, as you'll have this conversation 2, 3, 4, 5 times, that's completely fine. But you're able to lay out your points. And at the end of your difficult conversation, you all are still good, you all are still friends. Nobody was disrespected. And you're able to just continue with the day and continue with life until you all have another conversation. Isn't that powerful? Just for you, I created a free PDF called 20 Scripts for Loving Difficult People. What to say when you don't know what to say. Because after all that we have said, you may still need a bit of support for getting the words out right and kind of putting your words together, sometimes to maintain boundaries, to, just kind of smooth things and so on. It's totally free. Just click the link and take it. All right, so be sure to check out the description. In the description, we'll have all the contact information for me. That's website, email. Those of you all who heard about that VIA Strengths survey of your character and you want to get yours done, just simply email me. We can get that done. It's going to be helpful for you as you go through your personal growth and so on. Also in the description, you have the link where you can get that free PDF called 20 Scripts for Loving Difficult People. What to say when you don't know what to say. All right, so see you all next time, and be sure to comment and let me know, how some of these things went and maybe what else you would like to go through.